I'm conscious.
Now what?
What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Yeah.
Hold it. What you talking about, doctor?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of I'm Conscious Now What. I'm Derek Dunlap, and let's just start off, if we may, by just taking that deep breath and releasing. Becoming conscious of your own energy. Becoming conscious of self, that you are consciousness. Becoming lucid in this, can I use the word dream? This dream of life. Let's become lucid right now. Deep breath. Let go. And just become conscious that you are conscious, that you are alive, and that you are observing everything. And nothing ever is directly happening to you. You're observing, you're hearing, you're seeing, you're touching, you're exploring through consciousness. And when you look at it from that perspective, yes, it is a journey. It releases you from the pity parties. It releases you from the why me? Why is this happening to me? And you could just hold that authentic smile. Did you grasp that? Did you catch that? Deep breath. New life. I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm conscious. I'm infinity. Everything is perfect. This is the frequency that I like to just chill in and explore all possibilities. This is the realm, my escape realm. And it all starts with purpose, breathing, purpose, breath, purpose, thoughts, right? Becoming conscious that I am conscious, becoming lucid in what we call everyday life. I love you. Thank you for being here. And today's topic, where do the dead go? And I promise you, I know a lot of these episodes go for a couple of hours. I promise you today, I read the comments, I get the inboxes. We're not going to drag this thing out. If we need the time, we'll take the time. We'll just base it on the call-ins. The number is 734-230-2744. I'll give you my perspective first, and then I'll allow those of you who want to utilize your platform to call in. And if you like this movement, if you want to call it a movement, if you like this space, if you like this energy that we occupy every Wednesday and Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, then if you feel the need, do your support. Do your part. There's a link under this live stream. It's a Patreon link. You can do your part. What's the intent? What's the goal? Very simple, not complex. We're collectively just raising the level of consciousness, which is infinite, one soul at a time. That's all we're doing here. I love this space. I look forward to this space. Every week, it's a part of me now. This is what I'm supposed to be doing right now. I love it. And I just let it play out. I just let it happen. So I just want to say this before I jump into this today. Just let the words that come out of my mouth, the vibrations that I'm speaking right now, be in perfect tone, perfect pitch, perfect frequency, so that every living soul, every conscious being that listens or watches this live stream or the replay can have understanding, that you can just understand. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing this energy, this space with me. Thank you. Let's jump into this one. I'm not going to hold you here. Where do the dead go? Of course, absolutely. This is going to be from my perspective. This is not going to be from things that I've read, from other people's perspective. No. This is going to be from my experiences. You see, that's what I'm learning. I'm learning to create my own realities, my own experiences, and to answer my question and other souls' questions, because when you ask the question, you're expecting perspective, because either you're not sure of your perspective or it's something that you want to know. Well, a lot of people ask questions just to get other people's perspectives on it. There's nothing wrong with it, because you could sit in a frequency and say nobody really knows because nobody is dead. But what's death in consciousness? I have to come down to this vibration to even talk about death, because I'm fully 100% conscious that there is no such thing as death. As death has been broken down and elaborated to us, the fear of that word, death, the end of existence. I don't experience that anymore. I'm lucid in this life or this dream or this reality, whatever word, whatever English you want to call it. And I'm lucid in my quote unquote dreams. That's what they labeled it, right? I call them parallel timelines, but so you can understand, I don't want to make it complicated. And I'm lucid when my body goes to sleep. And I achieved this from my will and my desire. I had to reprogram my thoughts. So where do the dead go? From my perspective, wherever they believe, when they detach from this vessel, this body. Now this is going to might get a little complex based on where you are consciously, based on your beliefs that you picked up, based on your ego, your energy patterns that you're used to exploring, the way you see things, right? What you've been taught, and even some of you, what you've experienced. Where it's simple to me, it's like, I'll give you an example. When around 9:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every night, I know this vessel of mine takes that, you know, that one, you just, you know, you make that yearning sound. Body's telling you, I'm tired. You got to recharge me. I need to recharge. Remember, we spoke about that? I'm conscious of that yawn. I'm conscious of that yawn. At 9:40 every single night, my body starts to shut down, and I become lucid that now it's time for me to explore in consciousness. And so in my world, I die, if you want to use that word, death. I detach from my body consciously a couple times a day. 5 a.m. in the morning, between 6 p.m. now. Times is changing a little bit. I like to do about 3 p.m., but because of live streams and animals and being married and being a dad, and, you know, sometimes it fluctuates, but I like to hit that 3 p.m. I separate from my body. I die. And what I've been playing with, and a lot of you, a lot of souls are playing with this now because it's out here. It's just your choice. The last little arrangements of thought patterns and energy, the last thing I was conscious of, or the last thing that I was thinking of, or attached emotion to, or got excited about, or gave my consciousness to, before my consciousness leaves the physical body or separates from the physical body, depending on the frequency of the energy, the will and the desire and the intent, all of that comes into, you know, play. That's usually what I'm conscious of when I leave the body, or that's usually what you quote unquote dream about. In many cases, not all the time, right? Not all the time. It's very, very common. Whatever you're thinking about before you lose that quote unquote consciousness of the physical realm and you cross over to the non-physical realms or the dream states, a lot of you are familiar with that term, it just picks right back up. And what I'm learning on my journey, and I'm lucid and very conscious of, is I am preparing right now. I am exploring non-physical realms. I am preparing for the departure of this physical vessel that I have right now. It's inevitable. I am going to shed this body, but am I going to ever shed my consciousness? I haven't yet, because I am conscious that I am consciousness. We are all living, every single one of us. And this is the journey. We are all living out of our consciousness. I'm going to get a little deeper. The dimensions or the realm we are now in, this quote unquote, I don't really know what to call this dimension anymore. It's like a dream, like the awakened state that a lot of people, you know, they say the awakening state or the real world. A lot of people call this the real world. Okay, snap out of the the astral projection, now back to the real world. What's the real world? But when you really think about it, And you really have to analyze this for yourself. You have to experience this. What is real in consciousness? Whatever you say is real. Whatever you think is real. This is the handicap that a lot of us have it has crippled us. It has crippled us. But this awakened state that we're in, that we call the physical, it was not designed for us to create our reality. Have you noticed that yet? Have you become lucid to that? This dimension is not designed for us to just sit down and think and create our reality. It's quite contrary to that. I'm becoming more lucid to that as the days pass. This dimension is not designed for us. It's not structured for us to be still and create with our imagination and our consciousness. It's not. Matter of fact, it's the total opposite. Everything is already given to us or already packaged for us to select. I call it life now. I got a word for it. I call it life starter kits. I love that word. And once you understand that it's not structured for us to be still and use our imagination and create, you begin to understand why we are at the conscious level or why we are ascending at the speed or rate that we are, or why we've been so quote unquote dumbed down or humanized, because it's structured. Why some of you feel so lost, because it's structured for you to feel lost, to feel hopeless, to feel like you need someone to come help you. Even from our governments, even from our parents, our moms and our dads, we depend on them. And then there's a time where we have to, our mom and our dads, they cut that, just like they cut that umbilical cord, as above, so below. Here we go. Hey, yo. But it's structured for us to feel as if we're helpless and hopeless. We need help. Help me. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Everything is done for us. I'll give you an example about everything is structured so you can kind of understand where I'm going with this. And we're going to get into the meat and potatoes. I'm not going to drag this out. It is what it is, right? This is through my experiences. What race are you? As soon as you begin to read and write and start to apply in this dimension for all of to when you're choosing your life purpose starter kit, in which direction you're going in this life, you don't start from that blank what do you call it that they paint on? That blank, is it a tarp? No, it's not a tarp. You canvas. You're not starting from a blank canvas. You got a starter kit. What's your race? You are black. You are white. You are this. You are that. And over a period of time, you start to believe that. What is your race? I am black. I am Caucasian. I am Indian. I am, Australian. I am whatever. Separation. Right there. What's your sex? I am male. I am female. You see what I'm saying? All of these things are man-made, not the structure of our physical body, I'm not saying, but the titles and the labels that we put so much emphasis on identifying who we are here. You see, a little baby doesn't know if they're a male or a female when they're born. They have to learn that they're separated. Because if nature, played its course, then the reproduction process would continue without the labels and the genders. It'll just happen. You see what I'm saying? It'll just happen naturally without all of the titles. What's your religion? That's the one that really, what religion are you? When I speak to people, what are you? What's your religion? You see what I'm saying? Life starter kits. They try to put you somewhere instead of letting you be and letting you evolve and teaching you how to create your own life. We have starter kits. What's your fill in the blank? Fill in the blank. Choose. Choose one. Go into a store. Choose. Choose your house. Are you following me? This dimension was constructed that way for you not to create, for you to choose, for you to inherit what's already here. And this is a part of the process why so many souls are lost and so many souls are out of sync and so many souls are living lives that are not, they're not aligning with life. And we're going to get into life. You're out of sync. But yet this is where I was told I should be. But your universal compass is off. Okay? Whatever you believe in the physical, in this realm where you're watching this video and hearing this sound, whatever you believe, and you know what you believe, you will carry into the non-physical. You do it all of the time. And I'm only giving you facts that you can grasp hold to. So I'm using the dream state or parallel timelines. I'm sure a lot of you are conscious that some of the things that you've experienced in the physical realm, when the body became tired and died or shut down or went to sleep, you carried those beliefs and those emotions and those thoughts into the non-physical realms. You do this all the time, conscious or not conscious, and vice versa. Whatever consciousness, when you become conscious or lucid, right, in the non-physical realms, you carry that consciousness consciously or non-consciously back to the what? The physical realms. All right? You with me so far? Making this super, super simple. Okay? I want to tell you a little story of where I really drove the nail in when there was no more doubt in my mind that I was immortal and that I never, quote unquote, die the way we were told death is. I had a great, great friend. I can say one of my better friends, and I will never, ever, ever forget this experience that I had with this individual. And now that this individual has crossed over and shed the physical body, because I allow their energy to live on through my thoughts, through my emotions, through my imagination. I can still tap into this individual's energy and experience this individual in non-physical realms. I won't say the individual's name for the respect of the individual's family, who are still ascending. We're all ascending, and we're all on different levels of consciousness. So I just won't throw the name out there. I realize a lot of people watch these videos, but one of my friends, good friend, shedded the physical body. What we would say died. Okay, so you'll understand where I am. And I remember when I got the news, prior to this individual shedding the physical body, I remember riding down a road that put this individual into my consciousness. It was a road that we used to ride down all the time and just talk, for hours, and go out to eat, and we work together. Just good friends, great friends. And you don't have a lot of true friends. I mean, great friend. And this was probably 2 or 3 days before this individual, quote unquote, died. Okay. And while I was riding up this road, I was on Michigan Avenue. My consciousness said, hey, make the left and go see your friend. I remember this like yesterday. Go see your friend. You ain't saw your friend. I hadn't talked to my friend in months. Yeah. Just getting caught up in everyday life. Friend got a family. My friend is in a different business. I'm on a different, path of consciousness. My friend was a Christian and I am consciousness. I jumped out of that box of being, labeling myself a Christian. So there was a little separation. It happens. We still had love for each other, but, my consciousness riding down Michigan Avenue said, go see your friend. And I didn't, because I had something. I was picking my mom up from the airport. And I was just preoccupied, and I didn't. And 2 days later, I got the word that, your friend has passed away. That's a word that we use in the physical, based on your consciousness. I just say your friend moved inward, shedded the physical body. And what happened was I thought about my friend all that day. You see what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? All that day, all of the memories, all of the good times in my imagination. You know what happens? You think about them. And I remember the night of the gathering, the family gathering. I remember going out and just sitting in the circle, and people were talking about this individual, and had a very, very good time. It was a very good celebration because we all remembered this person for, it was a very great person. I'm telling you, don't meet a lot of people on this journey like this individual. Was just a great person, and that night, I quote unquote had what some of you would call a dream. Okay. And I became lucid in this dream. And because I was open to receive non-physical energy, I could communicate with which some of you would call the dead. Okay. Because I'm lucid probably 80% of the time in my parallel timelines or dreams. Okay. This was the nail in the coffin for me. Bad analogy, not the nail in the coffin, but this is what drove that we never die home for me. Okay. And whatever we are conscious of in the physical, when we alleviate the body, this body that I have, when I alleviate this body, right? When this body's work is done, what we call death, right? Wherever my conscious level is, I'm carrying that to the non-physical realms, because people say, where do we go when we die? So on this parallel timeline that I existed in, non-physical, okay, I was able to be totally lucid. If you were in this room with me, some of you, I don't want to waste a lot of time trying to explain a lucid dream and how vivid it is. I don't have to do that. But if those of you who have ever had a dream, okay, and you woke up from that dream, and the only way you drew the line in the frequency or between each dimension was, oh shit, that dream was so real. Oh, you're touching yourself. I'm awake now. You know what I'm saying? The only difference between a dream and this awakened state is the energy that you attach to them, what you believe. You were taught that dreams are dreams and that this is the real dimension. So it is as you believe. So I remember being with this individual in this parallel reality of non-physical. And this individual had picked right up from where they had left off in the physical realm. And I was riding in an automobile with this individual, just like we would normally do. And we had another young lady in the car with us, and we were going out to eat, to get a bite to eat. And we would always talk and break bread together and talk about goals in life. And, and it was very comfortable. It was real, it was just a non-physical realm, and I could connect back with this energy. And I remember being lucid, meaning I knew, you see, because I could still come back to the physical. You see what I'm saying? A part of my consciousness was still in the physical realm, but a part of my consciousness was in the non-physical realms also. And I remember becoming lucid and remembering that this individual had crossed over or turned within. Lucid, just like I'm doing this live stream. And there was a part of me that wanted to tell this individual, you turn within, or you're dead, right? Because this individual was doing the same exact things that we did in the physical. And I remember us pulling up to this restaurant, and same thing. Hey, you guys go in, get a table. I'm going to go down, I got some business that I have to take care of, and I'll join you at the table. The same thing we would always do. And I remember sitting at the table with the young lady, and I watched my good friend walk, as we were like at the window, and I could see my friend walking down this. It was like a strip mall, very elegant strip mall, and the restaurant was here. And I saw him take out his keys and open the door of what was a beautiful storefront in the same strip mall. And so I remember telling the young lady who was sitting there, she was new, I had just met her, excuse me, I'll be right back. We'll order in a minute. And I remember walking out the door and going to this strip mall, this storefront that my friend walked into. And I remember walking in. And I remember my friend looking up at me. He was sitting at his desk, similar to the desk that he used to reside in 3D. And he was going through these cards, which he did in 3D. And these cards used to be leads that he would, big Rolodex of cards, which we call leads, because we used to do a type of sales. And he was going through all of these leads. And I remember thinking, wow, he don't even realize he dead. He's doing the same thing he did when he was alive. I remember thinking that. And I remember wanting to tell this individual, hey, don't you know you're dead? You don't have to do that no more. You're in a non-physical. You could do whatever you want to do. But I could not for the life of me, ladies and gentlemen. And I understand now why I couldn't. And I've told this story before. You might have heard this story before. I couldn't tell him that he was dead. I couldn't. And the reason being is, and I know now, because there's no such thing as death. Everything continues as you believe. You pick right back up in the non-physical realms as you believe. Just think about some of the stories, near-death experiences, and just think of, and I know a lot of people say, well, Derek, hold on. I understand what you're saying, but why is there so many people that say when they had this near-death experience and they popped out of the physical body? You hear that a lot, right? You hear that a lot, that they saw a bright light or a tunnel and they started to go down this tunnel. And because that's what we were told over and over and over and over and over again. And that's what we believe. So yes, we will project a white light and a tunnel. That's what we were told. You've heard that story so many times and you believe it. Because it's true. That's what these individuals saw. And they're just telling you what they experienced. And you believe that experience to be true. And whatever you believe, right, and attach emotion to, you project in the non-physical or the physical. We are infinite consciousness. Some of you are already here, and some of you are still struggling with this. But Derek, they said there's a heaven and a hell. Do people really go to hell? If you believe in hell, absolutely, you'll go to hell. Who painted the picture of hell? Where did you even find out about hell or heaven? How did you find out about that? Someone told you about it. And you believed it. You saw the images of hell, the terrifying, horrific images of fire and brimstone from the words that were in a book, which were the perception and a perspective from an individual who might have had this experience. I'm not going to even say they didn't have the experience. And we believed it. And so, yes, whatever you believe in your heart, think of the religion. Whatever you believe, do you believe I can do this? Whatever, you have the faith of a mustard seed. See, religion understands the power of belief. All of these religions understand. All of religion is not what some people call fake. Oh, they know what they're doing. It's real. The thing I just try to drive home is it's not the only way. It's nothing wrong if you're a Christian. It's nothing wrong if you're a Muslim. It's nothing wrong with that. But that's not the only way. That's a way that you found. That's a way that you believe. That's a way that you are vibrating at, and you're connecting with other beliefs and energy. You're connecting, and that's okay. But that's not the only way in an infinite universe. Let me drive this home. The biggest lie ever sold to me, if you want to say lie or truth, is the definition that we've inherited of death. The way we perceive death is from in this incarnation, what I'm experiencing every single day, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I'm experiencing. I'm not telling you nothing that I read or what somebody told me. It does not exist. I have never, when I became lucid in this awakening state, which we call three density, and I become lucid in my dreams from my breath, and I'm aware that I'm consciousness, I have never, ever not existed. And I'm just sitting like, wow. So, and I tried to sit in this frequency, and I did. So I said, higher self. So you're telling me that there's no such thing as death? I live forever in consciousness? I never die? I'll just shed this physical vessel and move inward based on my beliefs? And whatever I believe, then that's what it is? Oh, shit. No wonder we all so fucked up. Oh, shit. No wonder there's so many divisions. No wonder we've been caught in this life loop, this reincarnation trap over and over and over again. Oh, shit. No wonder we can't remember our past lives, ladies and gentlemen, because there's some of us on our journey now, we can't even remember our quote unquote dreams from the quote unquote night before. How do you expect to remember a past life if you can't even remember a dream? See how it's all tying in? This journey, this immortal, eternal journey of consciousness. We never die. That word, that definition, I'm not fucking with it anymore. It doesn't exist to me. Death does not exist to me. Anyone that has turned within and shedded the physical body, if I focus enough of my consciousness and use my will and desire, I can tap back into that energy of that person. I remember how they made me feel. I remember their energy, and I can pull them back up in what? My imagination, which is what? The life. Consciousness. And I can sit in their energy in non-physical realms where they exist. And the only thing that I had to overcome on my journey, and I'm still working on this, I haven't mastered this yet, I'm playing with it, is my definition of what's real and what's fake. That's what I had to wrestle with. That's what I had to, wake up in those cold sweats in the middle of the night from a lucid dream and find myself here and say, wow, what the fuck? Well, which one is real? See? There is no death. The only reason why death exists is because you believe it exists. And you're carrying that low vibration frequency of death the way it was given to us, to control us, to limit us, to enslave us, to instill fear in us, to keep us from wanting to go inward. Distractions. It's like taking a child into a candy store with all of the different colors of candy. They're going to be distracted. And that candy represents the things that we see in the physical realm. Let me move on. As I said before, consciousness never dies. It never dies. Consciousness and energy, can I use this word? Recycles. It can never not exist. Energy just reshapes in different forms and non-physical forms. You kind of understand what I'm trying to say, but it never goes away. And we know this to be true, those of you who've had outer body experiences. You see how this is all tying in? We die every night. Every night we have the opportunity to explore this infinite possibilities, the infinity of what we call the imagination, which is consciousness, the real world. Every night, every quote unquote, in the illusion of time, we have the opportunity to explore this. And the only thing that separates us or keeps us from exploring these realms is our beliefs, our ego, our energy patterns that we develop, the starter kit that we chose, the starter kits, the life starter kits that we chose, that keeps us vibrating and attached to this 3-density realm. It's that simple for me. So when one asks me now, where do we go when we die? The first thing that comes out of my mouth, and some of you are experiencing this on these live streams and these videos, is we never die. What do you mean? I've identified an existence in my consciousness that never dies. I'm aware that this vessel that I have right now is going to go back to ashes, dust to dust, right? Just like the leaves fall off the trees, right? Just like we get snow, just like we get rain. Greatest example I ever seen from nature that really just said, wow, was the butterfly, the caterpillar in the butterfly story. And you watch that caterpillar roll itself up like a mummy in some cases. They call it a cocoon. And a certain allotment of time passes by. And that beautiful, colorful, flying around, we call them butterflies, pops out of that cocoon and explores. And I would only have to assume now, the life from a new perspective, a new vibrating energy is flying. But the consciousness that was in that caterpillar is the consciousness that is in that butterfly. What is life? I've been playing with this energy too. You hear me talk about the life. What is life? Those of you that are counseling, those of you who are trying to figure this out, what is life? And I had to ask myself that question to do this live stream. Derek, what is life? The life is what consciousness sits in. The life, yeah, I like that, is what consciousness sits in. Go a little deeper. The life is what makes consciousness conscious. This is life. I'm conscious that I'm here. I'm conscious that I exist. I'm conscious. The life makes consciousness conscious. We are all a little tiny chip or tiny piece of the life. The life is what some of you have been taught to call God. Or I like to say the divine presence of all. What is life? Life is the energy that we have been given, that we consume, that we thrive in, the energy that consciousness sits in, that makes conscious. It's the life. You can look at a cat and that cat is experiencing what? Life, alive. A plant is alive. That's the life. You can look into your spouse or your brothers and sisters' eyes and they are alive. That is the life. That's what we should be calling God. Because we all exist in the consciousness of the life. And I'm still on this journey. I'm still nibbling on this. As you can see, I get so excited when I'm a little chip of the life. Oneness. There's only one life. One consciousness that we all exist in. We're all little chips of this life. And the only thing that has separated us from this life is what we've become, what we believe. All religions are based on beliefs, ladies and gentlemen. All of them. It's what you believe. I die for this. I believe. Read the stories. Read them. Discern them when you read them. Do you believe I can do this? Do you believe I am this? Yes, you are. Then go as you believe. We've inherited these starter kits. And what it's done, these starter kits of the life, of what the life should be. You see what I'm trying to say? And we miss the whole experience because we just taking shit that's been given to us. And we never really experience for ourselves what life is. The life is an infinite experience that never ends. I've had 2 tastes. I told you guys this before. My story won't change. It might get a little broader. I became one with everything twice in this incarnation. I don't understand. I don't want to even try to understand how it happened, but I remember being everything simultaneously at the same time and then driven all the way back to my consciousness where it was just me and nothing else in the void. And I never understood why. The most blissful, you heard me say this before, the most blissful experience and the most terrifying experience all wrapped up into the life. And during this physical incarnation, we experience bliss and what we would call, if we had to, with our English, some of the most horrifying things all wrapped up into one, what we call physical experience. But the life is infinite and you're one small chip and I am. And collectively, we're doing all of this at the same time. In the imagination and the dream of life, the life. Call it what you want. I'm not trying to tell you what to call it, but this is what I'm experiencing. The life. I am the life with infinite possibilities. I don't need a fucking starter kit of life. I don't need you to give me something. I want to experience. I want to start creating my life based on my beliefs from my experiences. Not that it's bad what you're trying to give me, ladies and gentlemen, or what mom and dad is handed down. No, get out of the good and bad, but see things for what they are. They gave you that because that's all they had to give you. That was their life at that time. They gave you what they had. I'm giving you what I have now, and that's infinite possibilities. Okay? Now, in this dimension, what I'm finding out, what has separated us? Because notice I said we are all, right, a chip of the life, that divine presence of everything. What has separated us in this dimension? It ain't no big secret. Just look around. Look around you right now. AI. AI. Artificial intelligence. It's what's separating us from the life. It is helping us and dominating our thoughts. It's projecting our lives for us. We run over to Google and type in something and Google spits out an answer and we believe it. We are what we believe, ladies and gentlemen. It's separating us. Artificial intelligence. Life starter kits that we just grabbing off the shelf and that's our life. Religion, you can't go out of the scope of religion. You got a whole universe out there. And I was very religious. I couldn't go out of the scopes in the realm of that book. And in the same breath, some of you are grabbing hold to this. We are free will beings. Are we? Are we free will beings? Are we really? Or can we only go as far as we believe? Do you really believe that you are a free will being? Or are you let's run down some of them. Which life starter kit? And just be real with yourself, because this is what I had to be real with myself. I was all fucked up. I ain't ashamed to say it. I'm still working on my vehicle now. If you saw my car, I got Bondo all over it. The hood is up, cords is everywhere. You understand? My radio ain't in. I'm trying to get on that right frequency. You guys know what I'm saying? My car ain't shining like a Bentley or a Ferrari right now, but I'm trying to construct and create my own vehicle through the gift of life. Life is what you make it. Have you ever heard that before? It's what you make it. But we've become accustomed of grabbing life starter kits. And we can never go outside the ramifications of that starter kit. So let me ask you, are you Christian? No ill will to Christians. I open the door for them every day when they knock on my door. Are you Christian? It's already written out for you. There's already books. You just stay within that book, and that's your life. Are you Muslim? Did you grab the Muslim starter kit? It's already books written, already perspectives. It's already written out the way you should live, what you should believe, what you should do, what you should not do. You are as you believe. When you shed the physical body in the quote unquote death, you will be a Muslim in the non-physical realms. You will be a Christian in the non-physical realms. So it goes back to that question. Are you a free will being, or are you becoming accustomed to being ruled over? Are you being accustomed to people telling you and ruling over you? Gods ruling over you from their life starter kits that they hand you. And it's your free will to accept or not to accept. It's your free will. Are you a witch? I love witches. Are you? Had a guest on and her grandmother taught her how to be a witch. There's nothing wrong. I love witches. I get more love from witches than I do from Christians. Christians beat me up because I let go of the Christian starter kit. You see what I'm saying? Are you a magician? Do you play and construct with energy? See, there's all these different boxes. Are you? Are you manipulating energy? Are you playing with energy? Are you creating spells? Are you creating your reality? Are you a magician? Think about it. What are you now? Are you a mason? Oh, that's a big one there. Which life starter kit did you grab? What's creating your reality? Because we can all agree that our reality is created from our thoughts and our beliefs. So what are you believing now? What are you holding on to? What's your life starter kit that you grabbed up off the shelf, or somebody threw it and you caught it? This is where we're all at, including myself. I'm still taking stuff off me every day. I ain't no guru. Are you a Jehovah's Witness? You see? Are you a Mormon? See all these divisions? Mormons live a certain way. Jehovah's Witnesses believe certain things. It's already written out for you. All you got to do is follow the starter kit. All of the Jehovah's Witnesses in the non-physical realms are still collectively together in the non-physical world. Derek, how you know that? Because one of my best friends was doing the same thing. From experience, that's how I know. From experience, being lucid in this life and being lucid in my dreams. And my higher self painted it out better than any movie, anything that I've ever experienced. You just move inward with the same consciousness. Nothing changes. You just are detached from the body. That's it. And the thing about it was, my best friend didn't even realize. Well, I know why now, but I'll just say this because that's what was blowing me away. My best friend didn't even realize he was dead. And I couldn't tell him why, because death does not exist. You just move inward. Are you Hindu? Monk? Hebrew Israelite? Are you a god? Where do the dead go? Wherever they believe. Whatever level of consciousness they have. And we were talking about this on a different podcast about this incarnation trap. See, you can tie all of that in to what I've just told you that I've experienced. You see what I'm saying? If you were taught to follow the light from all of these stories of people following the light, and you haven't been experiencing non-physical realms and experiencing, really putting some time and effort into it, really putting your will and your desire into experiencing these things, And I told you before, and you mess around and detach from this body, right? This body permanently, which I'll probably never, I don't know. I haven't been there, but I don't know. I'm not afraid to say when I don't know if I'll ever have a body just like this one again. I don't know. I'm still in this one. But what I'm telling you is there's infinite possibilities outside of this motherfucker that I'm playing with on a daily basis. It's the life that you have control of. I have control of it. You got control of it. We just got to throw these effing life starter kits back. Got to throw that shit back and then start fresh from, okay, now that I know that I have this imagination, let me start creating my own life. Let me start experiencing things. Let me burn my hand. I know you burnt your hand, but oh shit, yep, that's hot. You see what I'm saying? We've grasped and become accustomed to life starter kits. There are no places in life. There's only life. That's my time, you know. Phone lines are open. 734-230-2744. Let me go over to the chat. Give me a call if you want to chime in on this. We're not going to spend a lot of time. I'll be here as long as the phones are going. Those of you who feel led to call, call. If you don't, no biggie. I'm just doing my part, ladies and gentlemen. I'm keeping it open. Who we got in the chat? I love you guys. Green says was here. Desire is here. Antonio is here. Star is here. I love you all. Thank you for being here. Anybody want to chime in on this live stream? Or if you don't catch this live stream and you're watching this, the replay of this, where do the dead go? Then leave a comment. Give me your perspective of what you're experiencing as far as where the dead goes. If you even believe in the dead, right? Where I am now, I see that physical body going back into, Mother Earth, but that spirit, that energy comes out of that body, and I can tap into that energy, any energy that I focus on, any energy that I've experienced, I can pull it back up. All right. So I'm live over here at the chat now with you guys and gals. I love you guys so much. Jesus said to the one of Jesus. Okay, let me get this. Jesus said to one of the other people that was executed at the same time as him, you shall be with me in paradise today. I can see that. I can experience that, because paradise to me right here on earth is sitting in a space that I create where I experience no lack. It's paradise. What's paradise? See, you have to define that word paradise. What's paradise to you? Yeah. Yes. Let's see. Hi, Christian. Thank you for the hearts. Ebony, thank you for the hearts. Dizzy. Anybody want to jump on the platform and call in today? The phone lines are open. I believe that paradise is another dimension on earth. Okay, Pia? I can grab hold of that frequency with you and go there. I can close my eyes and go there. Right? But one thing that I've experienced on this journey, when I close those eyes and go there, it's not physical. You see what I'm saying? So when you say it's another dimension on earth, and what you're saying is I have come to realize that there are a lot of dimensions within this dimension. I know that sounds kind of weird, but it's not. And it could, paradise you could connect energy to a physical thing and call it paradise. You see, there's infinite possibilities. We all perceive things different. So there's no right or wrong, but I can see what you're saying, paradise being another dimension outside of earth. I can see that. Ding, 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 no lack. Do you live in the UK? Okay. Phone lines open, ladies and gentlemen. They are open. Because you guys got my perspective on it. We're an hour in. And anybody want to chime in? Anybody want to add anything to what I said today? Anybody totally disagree with what I said today? 734-230-2744. And I am live in the chat. So if anyone wants to speak to me directly in the chat, I'm here. I am here looking live. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'll give it a few more minutes because it just always happens. I'm only doing my part. If no one feels led to call in live today, here's a question from Ebony Derek. So if someone is an atheist, where do they go? That's a great question. They go wherever they believe. See, if they're an atheist, you're saying that they don't believe in a God, right? So in a certain sense, right, I might be considered an atheist because I don't believe in a physical God sitting up in the clouds waiting to judge me for everything that I do wrong. I don't believe in that. So some people might call me an atheist. I believe in the life, right? That eternal life. I believe in the divine presence of all. I've experienced it. You see, so I don't believe in these man-made up God. You see what I'm saying? The God didn't create man. Man created this God that's been passed on based on the consciousness at those times. You see what I'm saying? I believe that there's a divine presence. There's a divine life. There's an infinite source of energy or a source. I don't believe it's I put it to you like this, Ebony. I don't believe that quote unquote what people call God, right? Because that book, and I know what book a lot of Christians go by, say that this God made man, let's create man in our image. I don't believe that the divine presence of the entire universe, of the entire consciousness is flesh. I don't buy it. Just from my experiences, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I believe that we are all, because I've experienced it, chips of this divine infinite realm of consciousness. It's everything. It's just one. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people would call me an atheist because I don't believe that there's a man up in the sky waiting to open up a physical book and judge me for everything that I did wrong and send me to a place of fire and brimstone. I don't believe that shit no more. It was once upon a time in my life I did because that's all I had. That's what was given to me. You see what I'm saying? But as I began to explore, right, in consciousness and have these outer body experiences and these lucid dreams that no one can take away from me. I know what I'm experiencing. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to believe it. If you haven't experienced it, I can't expect for you to believe it. But everything that we have right now in the physical, if you look how we have been structured to learn and receive, we getting information from other people's perspective. You see what I'm saying? Everything, all of the religions, everything that we have, we grabbing starter kits without experiencing, anything. And just look at the state of mankind right now. We all fucked up. We all handicapped. A lot of us, we can't even grow our own food. A lot of us don't even have access to water. A lot of us we don't even love ourselves because we don't even know who we are. How I'm gonna love you if I don't love myself? You see the state that we're in? And yeah, it's easy just to blame one physical thing. The devil's doing it. Okay, if that's where you are, okay. But the journey that I'm on is when my life gets out of phase, or when my life, this divine presence of all, when I'm not sync, I have the ability, right, to be still, turn within, and realign myself to all that there is whenever I choose to. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm sitting in some energy that I have to discern and learn how to deal with. You see what I'm saying? I don't want you, ladies and gentlemen, to think that I'm always in la la land. No, hell no. No. I have challenges and obstacles and experiences and perceptions that I have to figure out. That's the journey. So atheists go where they believe. It's that simple. Whatever's up here, whatever they're believing, whatever they're projecting, they go. It ties into that law of cause and effect. For every cause, there's an effect. And for every effect, there's a cause. Nothing escapes that law of the universe. All right. I hope that helped. That's just from my perspective. All right, so let me check the calls. If there are no more calls, I don't want to miss nobody, because I get those inboxes all the time. All right, nobody felt led to call today, and it's all good. It's all good. You guys can join us here the same time. If you want to join us live, we do this live every Wednesday and Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right now, we're at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I am beginning, and I'm just going to let this out now so you guys will know the direction that I'm going. At the beginning of the so-called new year in January, I'm going to tweak these times, because what I'm realizing is some of you, I love all you that like to come together on the live streams, that 1 o'clock p.m. time is not feasible for a broader audience based on, the geographic locations of everyone. We, in the beginning, me and Cropper was doing this together, and it was more convenient for Ryan to jump on at that 1 p.m. That's where that derived from. But I get a lot of inboxes of people that can't catch the live stream live, right? Because now we're live, it's 14 people watching live, but I can put this video up, and tomorrow you guys will see it could be 400 or 500 people that's catching the replay. You see what I'm saying? So I want to come up with a time that's conducive, that's we can get more people to tune in live. I think that's a better way to go. All right. So, Derek, how would you describe source? I don't have the words. I can tell you what I experienced. I don't have the words. I don't have the English language to try to butcher source. Source is, I think I said it earlier, source is the life. Source is the source of all energy that anything conscious derives in. Source, it's the source of all, right? It's infinite. There's no beginning, there's no end. But I really don't have the language to describe it, because I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to sit in that realm of source, of oneness. There's no separation in source. It's the source of all. If you could just let your consciousness go there, just connect with the source of everything. Everything is connected to source. So there is source sitting there alone, connected to infinity. Can you go there? If you can go there, you can experience it. There's no separation. We're only separated by our beliefs. From the examples that I've given you, your beliefs won't let you go outside of your beliefs. And we all have beliefs, right? But source is the source or the origin of everything. So just try to focus on source and sit there until you can feel that energy. It'll take you away, right? But no one has, we can only try to describe it. You can't describe something that's non-physical, that's infinite, what's the word? You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. All right. Anybody else? Thank you for that question. Life is good. Anybody else? All right. Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey, I love all of you guys that jumped on here with me live for this experience, sharing your energy. Yes, life is good. You said you would love to hear some stories, and that's what this platform, and we would love to hear some of your stories. You know, we have a number that you can call in. It's 734-230-2744. I know a lot of people don't like jumping on the phones, but it's always available. And we do this every Wednesday into the new year. Now, in the new year, we're going to change these times. I'm just telling you guys, we're going to change the times to make it more congruent for a broader audience. Because a lot of people can't jump on live. But you watch the video plays after the live stream, like, you know, tomorrow you'll see 300, 400, 500 views. So that lets me know if I'm only having 20 people live, and then hours later I got 4 or 5, they're missing the time is not great for everyone. Okay, I love you guys that love this time, but we got to spread it out a little bit and make it, you know, some people at work, some people are at church today. You see what I'm saying? And they just can't catch it live. It's easier for me to do it at 1 p.m. But you guys know what I'm saying? Yeah, Ryan's gonna be back. Ryan will be here anytime. Anytime I ask him, really. And if our schedules, you know, line up. If you guys have noticed, I don't spend a lot of time on social media a lot. When I jump on social media, I'm doing this live stream, and I'm checking the comments, and I'm checking my inboxes for souls who have questions, because I realize that the artificial intelligence and the draw of the internet and just the energy that's on the internet, I don't like to be consumed by the internet. The internet is very, very addictive, and it will suck away all of what you call your time. I've spent 10 years on the internet. I've lived on the internet. I've made a lot of money from the internet, and I'm just in the new direction right now. You see what I'm saying? So I only jump on the internet when I'm, you know, sharing this energy with you guys now. Okay, dogs are barking. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in live. If you feel led to support this movement, there is a Patreon button up under this live stream. And also, if you just want to share this energy, there's a link where you can hit the share button after you watch this video. You can take that link and put it on your social media if you feel led. And also, if you like the information today, hit the like button. If you didn't like it, hit the you didn't like it button. It's all good. Okay. I'm Derek Dunlap. Thank you so much for joining us. And I will see you. I want to check this phone one more time, because it's always the stragglers. And they always come in right at the last minute. But no, we good. I'll see you guys same time, same place, Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love you. Peace and love.
I'm conscious. Now what? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Yeah.
Hold it. What you talking about, doctor?
Peace and love. Peace and love.